Hello Team 5, let's get straight into it. So this week we are on page 45. We are doing a writing exercise. Specifically, we are writing an informal letter or email. You're supposed to read part of a letter that Mina, her name is Mina, receives from her friend Toby. Now let's have a look at what Toby wrote, or at least part of what Toby wrote. Last night, Mom took me to an awesome concert in our town. It was amazing. Tell me about a concert you enjoyed. Where did it take place? What was it like? Who did you go with? Okay, so we're gonna have a look at Mina's reply. Okay, she wrote back to Toby. And we want to check if she has answered all of his questions. So, where did it take place? Question number 1. What was it like? Was it good, bad? Who did you go with? These are the 3 main questions. Now, does she answer them? Let's have a look at her reply. Here's her answer. Dear Toby, it was our school concert last week and our band played. It took place in the school hall and there were loads of great performances from different year groups. Now, that answers one question, doesn't it? In the school hall. Where did it happen? In the school hall. As you know, I've always been into music. I've played the keyboard since I was 6 and I've been in a band for about 2 years now. I went to the concert with my bandmates. So that's the next question answered. Who did you go with? I went with my bandmates. When I first walked on stage, it was dark and scary. You can't imagine how nervous I felt. Then the lights came on and we played our music. It was awesome. How was it? What was it like? It was awesome. We had such a cool time and I've never seen so many people clap for us. We recorded it, so I'll send you a recording. Right soon, Mina. Okay, so there you go. She answered all of his questions. First of all, where did it take place? Who did you go with? I went with my bandmates. And finally, what was it like? It was awesome. Now, when you write emails, informal letters, what phrases do you use at the beginning and at the end? Well, let's have a look. If we look at what she used in her email, well, she said, dear Toby. You could say, hi, hello Toby, okay? So, informal phrase to begin. An informal phrase to end as well. You can say right soon. We also say love, Mina. Or see you soon. Hey, Gablai. See you soon. See you later. And we use short forms, so contractions. Instead of I have, we say I've, for instance. Or instead of we will, you say we'll, okay? That's very informal. And then informal language, adjectives such as amazing, great, awesome. I'm sure you know lots more. Fantastic, excellent. So we're gonna look back at her reply to Toby and we're going to try to find 6 short forms like these. Okay, so here we are again. Can we find 6 short forms? Well, let's have a look. It took place in school and there were loads of great performances. As you know, I've always been into music. I've played the keyboard since I was 6 and I've been in a band for about 2 years now. I went to the concert with my bandmates. When I first walked on stage, it was dark and scary. I can't imagine how nervous I felt. Then the lights came on, the music was awesome. We had such a cool time, and I've never seen so many people clap for us. So I'll send you a recording. I will send you a recording. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exercise asks us to change the sentences in exercise 4 and make them short forms. So for instance, here, what have we got? He has, well, he has can become he's. He's never been to a music festival. We are going to give Amy a lift. We are becomes we're. We're going to give Amy a lift. Do you know who is going to perform next? Can you find it? Yeah, this one here. You can just say who's. Do you know who's going to perform next? I'd really like to see a live classical music concert. Which one is that? This one, yes. Instead of I would, we say I'd. Correct? They have not bought their tickets yet. These two, yes, they haven't. They haven't bought their tickets yet. And finally, number 6. Dan and Gemma could not find a place to park near the concert. Could not becomes couldn't. Now exercise 5. Exercise 5 asks you to match the highlighted informal words to the meanings. So the meanings are written over there. I'll rewrite them up here. The first one is lots, number 1 is lots, number 2 is frightening, number 3, very good, number 4, friends, another word for friends, and number 5 is enjoyed. So start, beginning, took place in the school hall, and there were loads of great performances. Many. Lots, right? Loads is another way of saying lots of. Many. Been into, I've always been into music. To be into something. Yes, to enjoy. To enjoy, I've always enjoyed, we'll write number 5 here. I've always enjoyed music, you know it. Next word here, mates. I went to the concert with my bandmates. Well, you probably know the word classmates. Well, in English, mates means friends. So, start number 4, let's write number 4 here. Friends. The next one, I first walked on stage, it was dark and scary. Scary, frightening. Alright, frightening is another word for scary. And the final one, of course, awesome. Awesome means very good, excellent, amazing. It's a very strong adjective. And that's number 3. Okay, so in your second lesson this week, you're going to be moving on to Unit 8. And Unit 8 is about amazing architecture. So let's have a look at the vocabulary section. We've got 4 pictures, A, B, C, D. Have a look. 4 different types of buildings, very different types of buildings. Now, in the box here, we've got 4 different terms. First one is apartment block. Second one is ground floor. Next one is 5th floor window. 5th floor window. The last one is upstairs room. Okay, so let's have a look at the pictures and where can we find examples of these? Well, the first one, apartment blocks. A, that's not an apartment block. You all know what an apartment is, a flat. So obviously we're talking about big buildings where we have lots and lots of flats, apartments. Places like Ving Homes, for instance. But don't have to be that big. Now maybe B, would you say that was an apartment block? Looks more like a house. Maybe D. Yes, D looks like got different apartments there. And this here, well, that's a very unusual looking house. Let's look at the next term is ground floor. Now what is the ground floor? A lot of people say first floor. Yeah, when you actually walk into a building, walk into a house. The ground floor is when you walk in. And a lot of people call that the first floor. So this is the ground floor here. Here at the bottom is the ground floor. Next word is fifth floor window. Now where do we have 5 floors? Well, here maybe. So we've got windows everywhere, and this is maybe the 5th floor, if you consider this to be the ground floor. So 5th floor window. And finally we've got upstairs rooms. Now, I guess you could say here is the upstairs room, or here. The next exercise, exercise 2. It says match the descriptions to the buildings in the photos. Which description isn't needed? So one of them here, there are 5, does not match a photo. So look, number 1. The house on top is much more recent than the original tower. Interesting. A house on top of a tower. Well, yes, that would be definitely picture C. Number 2, this glass building seems to be brand new, and its fresh design is spectacular to look at. Glass building. Okay, we are talking about picture B. Number 3, Central Park. Central Park is like a traditional cottage, but the largest rocks on either side are very unusual. Okay, so large rocks on either side, obviously. Talking about, this is picture A. Picture A, up. Number 4, it's a classic example of a country house, a historic country house from the 17th century. You see an old country house here somewhere? No, it seems to me like this is the description that isn't needed. And finally, this modern building is incredibly narrow. But it could be quite cozy inside in its limited space. Very narrow, definitely picture D. Okay, now exercise 3. In exercise 3, we have 2 different categories of adjectives. In sentences, all of the adjectives highlighted, written in blue. I've underlined them here. Need to be placed in either one of these categories. So the first one has been done for us. Recent, the house on top is much more recent. What does recent mean? It's the same as new, it's newer. So that has to do with age, how old it is. Then here, for the opinion one, you've got an example which is unusual, which is in number 3. Unusual, not common, special. Now, let's keep going. In the first sentence, we also have original. more recent than the original tower. Now, what does original mean and where does it go? Well, original will go here. It's about age. Why? Because the original means the first that was there, before the new one. So original is to do with age. In picture 2, sorry, sentence 2, this glass building seems to be brand new, and its fresh design is spectacular to look at. So the word brand new has got the word new in it, so that's very helpful. So brand new is to do with age. The second one, fresh. A fresh design the way it looks, is definitely more of an opinion. So fresh goes here. We've got spectacular. Have you ever heard that word before? Spectacular. Spectacular is amazing to look at. So spectacular would also be more about what you think about it, your opinion. The next sentence, number 3, the Central Park is like a traditional cottage. Now, traditional. You know the word traditional, you use it a lot in Vietnam to talk about traditional music, traditional dresses, Dao Zai. So traditional has definitely got to do with things being old, traditional. The word unusual, we've already talked about it. It means not so common, special. So that's about what you think about it, your opinion. Then we've got, it's a classic example of a historic country house. Now, we don't have that picture, but we can use the words. Classic, something classic. Classic example, well, classic would be here too, classic. Something that is classic, or also very, very similar to original. One of the first ones that was popular. A very good example of historic, a historic country house. Now, obviously in the word historic, we have the word history. So obviously it's about time, it's about things that are old. Historic is about age. The last sentence, we've got the words modern and cozy. What do they mean? Well, modern means pretty much the same as brand new. So we're going to add modern here. And finally the word cozy. Well, cozy is another word for comfortable. So a place that is very relaxing, that you want to sit in a cozy sofa and relax. It's nice and comfortable, cozy. All right, good.